Hello, my name is Altair. I'm a Master Qiyana main of 3 years in EOS, and I would like to go through rune changes and give my thoughts and opinions on them. First time I do a raw review, so bear with me. To start off, I would like to go through the first strike and the whole inspiration tree. So here, this is what you would go into, like a Silas, into Yone, Yasuo, Akali. Places where are like matchups where you wanna like generate gold in any way you can, right? And excuse me for that. I think the changes are quite good. Getting 15 gold for free, basically a minion, and also half of the damage you deal, which is 8% in gold, is actually massive, I think. You are gonna lose out on a little gold later on, like mid to late game, which is fine. I think the early game where you can accelerate and hopefully get your Serrated Dirk, your Brutalizer, get enough gold for Lucidity. Although you won't really get early Lucidity anymore, considering the fact that you have Hex Flash, Cashback, and Magical Footwear here. Sometimes you might pick Cashback if you want early Lucidity boots, but that's just about it. Very, very unlikely for you to go Cashback. I think this rune is just bait. 6% gold back really doesn't do anything. Because once you have, like, what, your Profane Hydra, you get 6% of that, which would be, like, I would say maybe 200, like around 200 gold. Don't call me if I'm wrong. But I really don't think it's worth. I think Magical Footwear is just way better. You don't have to buy boots early in, like, anymore. But you will kind of lose out on not having Lucidity early. But it is what it is. I think Magical Footwear is still the best out of these. And First Strike, just when you want to generate gold in any way you can. I actually do like the changes. At first I was like unsure about them, but now I quite like them. And we also have Triple Tonic in the biscuit area. Like, I don't really run biscuit delivery on Qiyana. I really don't. But that's just from player to player. It's completely up to how you feel the champion and what you want to do, which is fine. I usually like going Personal Mind or Mana Flow way more than I like going Biscuits. But like I said, it's just up to players. I think Triple Tonic is massive. I love the Elixir of Avarice. Elixir of Force really helps with early engages, like all-ins. And what, Elixir of Force gives you 400 gold worth of Force, or like worth of AD. So you basically get a First Blood in gold, again, like a First Blood advantage versus someone, even though you might be neutral in lane. So if you have Elixir of Force on top of a Serrated Dirk, I think you can get some crazy all-ins. Also, the Elixir of Skill is massive. I love getting the W point earlier. Just getting the extra movements with everything, perfect, top notch. And last row, Approach Velocity, you'll never use this. Jack of all trades, completely useless as well. 10 or 25 bonus adaptive force for this each different stat is completely worthless in my opinion. Cosmic Instinct, just massive value. You get item haste, works with Profane, works with your Yomus, works with what is it called? Opportunity, works with Edge of Night, Sundered Sky, all that good stuff. Although Sundered Sky isn't as common anymore to use. But yeah, just massive. So into, let's say, a Silas, I would most likely go First Strike. I go Magic Footwear, like Triple Tonic, I go Cosmic Insight. And now secondary runes with the inspiration tree. You can actually do basically what you want. I like going Mana Flow, Scorch, and then usually scaling health, but if you really need it early, you can go flat health. Sometimes you can go movement speed if you feel like it, but I don't really think it's worth. Into some terrible matchups, I go double scaling HP, but it just depends completely. And also, like, I guess if you're in a little aggressive lane, if you're feeling yourself, you can go Sudden Impact, but I think that Sudden Impact changes are actually quite big. Like, losing out on the extra lethality actually matters a lot, because it really won't be close to like as much value. Because when you, like, this will be way better pre like 5 minutes. It'll be, or not even way better, it will be better pre 5 minutes, I would say. the 20 to 80 extra 2 damage is fine. But it won't even come close to like the value that old sudden impact was. I remember games where my sudden impact out damages my electrocute just because of how much value I get out of it. I pop electrocute once, but the sudden impact just stayed anyway. But I don't really feel like I would go cheap shot. Wait. Yeah, no. I don't really feel I would go cheap shot or taste of blood. But it just, I might change over the course of the season. But let's say I would go, you could go sudden impact and then relentless hunter. These are all like you go or trust your hunter whenever you want to scale, or not scale, whenever you want to snowball. Get as much gold early, gold generation. Lovely rune. Relentless is just massive when out of combat trying to impact the map. But they did nerf it so you don't get the movement speed base now. So that is something. Ultimate Hunter, I don't really use it, but these are honestly up to preference. But think of it like this. This is if you want like team fight, be able to impact team fights the most. This is if you want to impact the map the most. This is if you want to snowball as fast as possible. Now, precision, I'm actually quite interested in, because I think it'll always be Press of Mind. I don't think you'll ever go Absorb Life or Triumph for that matter. I think Press of Mind just massive value. Getting what? Well, 1.5 to 11 mana regeneration. Like, late game it doesn't matter, but early it's nice. And then Alacrity, Haste. I think Haste you will never use either. There is nothing, like no reason to get 15 Haste. Bloodline, you will never get this. None of these. Just scrap all of these, to be honest. Some instances where Haste can be argued for, I suppose, but I wouldn't really put mine into it. Now, Coup de Grace, I don't think I've ever played it this season. I'm not even lying. I don't think I've ever used this. Because when dealing 80% more damage to champions who have less than 40% health, as Qiyana, doesn't really matter. We already have the rock enchantment that already works like an execute, so I don't see the point of it really. The hard point, or not the hard point, the hard part is actually getting people to 40% HP. It's not killing them when they're 40% HP. So, Coup de Grace don't really use unless I'm smurfing, I suppose. But even then, I like Last Stand more. And Last Stand, like, playing this season, I've always used this in like melee matchups, or matchups that I know are getting nitty and gritty. I go Press of Mind for the extra mana regeneration and just all in with Last Stand. Because what, you get 5 to 11% extra damage, is crazy. But here's where the interesting part comes in. Cut down. Deal 8% more damage to champions who have more than 60% HP. So, now, we basically have a Last Stand. So when you're 50% or 50% HP, you're getting the same value out of Cut Down that you would as Last Stand while you're 40 to 50% HP. And what does Qiyana struggle with the most in lane? Killing people that are more than 6%, or like getting people to lower than 6% HP. Because if 50% HP, Qiyana becomes a threat. She has Profane Hydra. I buy it every game, I think. Every game Profane Hydra. I love the item. It's so smooth. It makes my combos so nice. I love it. We have Earth. So having a tool to get people to below 50% HP, I think is gonna be massive this season. I will be looking into this, and I'm actually curious how this is gonna unfold. So I'll probably be a huge fan of Cut Down. So, for example, I'm playing as Silas, or anything, honestly, anything with precision, I'm probably gonna be running Press of Mind and Cut Down, unless it's a matchup where I think I'll get Last Stand. But I don't really think like it'll ever matter, because Cut Down is just way more valuable than Coup de Grace. Because let's say you ult someone at max HP, you're getting 8% extra damage on it. It literally doesn't matter. And I'm pretty sure, let's say your ulti makes it so someone goes to 40% HP, you'll still get the max value because they are above the threshold, right? So you're gonna get 8% extra damage even though your ulti will take them to below 60% HP. Which might be obvious to some, but I would just like to point it out. So Cut Down I'm a huge fan of. Resolve. Demolish can be fun. It can be fun to run Demolish. I can be a fan of it. Haven't really been using Resolve this season. I've played like maybe 150, 200 games with Qiyana this season, and have played it in everything from Platinum to Master, and I have not really used Resolve at all. Some matchups where I'm like not feeling myself, or I'm feeling a little off, whatever. I hate the matchup. Get a second wind. Get an overgrowth. Boom, now we're chilling. Go double health scaling. Okay. Even though I hate it, maybe pop a tier. I don't know, man. It's all up to you. I haven't really been doing this, but if you'd like, you can go for this. So, but most likely, you'll either, like, you'll go this, cut down Press of Mind, which sure. I usually run Scorch or Sorcery Secondary. Mana Flow Scorch, love the combination. Nullifying Orb, never. Nimbus, never. None of these I really use, or like I don't use them. Gathering Storm, I think it's just bait. I think it's complete bait on Qiyana. You don't need scaling at all. No scaling whatsoever. So for Domination Tree, I would usually run Electrocute. So here we see Cheap Shot deals 10 to 45 bonus true damage based on level, with a cooldown of 4 seconds. And then we saw an impact dealing 20 to 80 damage based on the level of your champion after using Dash, Leap, Blink, Teleporter when leaving stun for 4 seconds. I think that Stun Impact will just always be better. Like, yeah, you can get Cheap Shot more often, but when is that actually gonna happen? Your E, massive. If you hit someone with Camouflage Q, I'm pretty sure that the Q will deal true damage. I'll be testing that out. So you'll get a note in the comments seeing if that's true or not. So I think Grass Q just instantly procs it on an impact. So Electrocute on an impact. I run Eyeball Collection. That's what I do. And then it's just Relentless or Treasure. Most often Relentless. And if I feel like I'm gonna get more value out of Mana Flow, I don't really wanna get in there, I'll probably run Mana Flow Scorch. But this season, especially, I'll be running Precision more often. Precision, go Press of Mind, get the cut down, boom. You're gonna get massive value out of it. I can guarantee you. I think this will be so nice. Run an Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Relentless, Press of Mind, cut down. It'll just be looking so good. And now, I think I've seen some people run Comet. I actually have never run a Comet Qiyana, so I can't really say anything about it. Although, I have been running Conqueror Qiyana in some weird matchups. For example, into Akali, or not Akali, into Ahri before I've run it. I've also run it into like longer trades, especially when playing Qiyana top lane, because Qiyana top lane can be fun. I played it into Jace, into Renekton. Just the consistent damage is nice. And now with Lethal Tempo gone, the champions that usually run Lethal Tempo, like Yone, Yasuo, another mid laner that runs Lethal Tempo, I guess Azir. I don't really see Lethal Tempo Azir anymore, but if it does, then I think we can still kind of outdamage that. So Conqueror with Press of Mind. These are all not that good, but if you run Conqueror, I would just go for the haste. It's nice. And if you're going haste, you might not need the Lucidity boots anymore. You might be able to go for Symbiotic boots, which could actually help you impact the map way more than what you already can. And since you don't get the penalty anymore for having Symbiotic, which is like Mobies now, so if you get Symbiotic, you won't get the penalty like when you're in combat. You'll only get a bonus from when you're out of combat, and also the empowered recall. So I think that'll work great. Most of the time, like I think you'll always run Cotton when you go in Conqueror. I can, or not always. Sometimes you'll go Last Stand if you really think that it's gonna be a rough matchup where you're both gonna be low. And then secondary, Sudden Impact is nice. Relentless Hunter is nice. And like always, you can go Mana Flow Band, you can go Scourge. Won't really be used as often since you're going Conquer already. And if you have Press of Mind, you don't really need the Mana Flow anymore. So I can actually see you run, for example, Second Wind if you're against a rough lane. Also Bone Plating if you're in like if you need to stop the all-ins. Overgrowth will just give massive value. I like it. Inspiration though, I think that Magical Footwear and Triple Tonic will actually give massive value. This right here, just gold generation, just like helps you hit your spikes faster. Cosmic Insight could be used as well. And I'm a massive fan of Triple Tonic, so I would probably go this if I am playing top lane. It might not be the right play. This is probably a little, or it's arguably better than Triple Tonic. Depends on like the matchup, but I will most likely go this every game if I get the choice. But Medical Footwear and Triple Tonic, double gold value. If I ever want Cosmic Insight, I will go Triple Tonic with it. Okay. Well, now with Lethal Tempo gone, I actually think that some matchups that are quite rough for Qiyana. Let's look at the champions. Show unknown. How do I make it so it's not alphabetical? Oh my god. Roll, I guess. So stuff like Lethal Tempo. I mean, all the Lethal Tempo will really help you against the early game. For example, these two will not be shitting on you anymore. This is gonna be a way better lane for Qiyana now. I can't really find anything else. Kale, maybe. Not really. Can't really think of anything else. But yeah, to summarize, if you're going Conquer, this is probably your go-to rune page. You could also go into the Sudden Impact Relentless Hunter. If you're going First Strike, massive. Gold Generation, love it. Magical Footwear, don't go cashback, it's just a bait. Triple Tonic, lovely. I go this every game. Now whenever I go into Inspiration. Cosmic Insight, you never go Jack of all trades, completely int. Secondary, Sudden Impact Relentless, Personal Mind Cutdown, Mana Flow Scorch. If you feel like it, you can go Second Wind Overgrowth. Here with the Domination, it would be Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and also Relentless. Very unlikely that you would go Electrocute paired with this, but if you need to like poke some damage and also like get him into kill range, sure. I will most likely be running this. But I'll see how season turns out. And also, I would like to give an honorable mention to Halo Blades. I quite like this rune page, or I quite like this rune. Even though it's got a nerf now, which is kind of sad, but makes sense. It helps into some matchups where you can just, you know, for example, Ari. You can just E in auto attacker to death. Maybe you get hit by the charm, but since you have so much damage from the Halo Blades, you can still take like prolonged fights and also like look for the all-in. It's a lovely trade. Or lovely rune that helps you trade. And also these runes, it's basically just gonna be like I never go attack speed unless I'm not even in the jungle. I go attack speed. Ability haste, no, never. Movement speed I can go in the jungle, and also so it'll most likely look like this if you're in the jungle, or it can like jungle you need early scaling health. So I will go adaptive HP or movement speed and health. If you really need the survivability in the jungle, you can go adaptive, health scaling, and flat scaling, or flat HP. Or you just go this. Or if you're in the mid lane, you can go this. If you want scaling ED, if you're in a really rough lane, you go double scaling. And if you really need the early game power, you can just go straight like this. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on the runes. If you would be interested in more content like this, or if you think that I should improve at something, then please tell me. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.